Okay, perfect. And if everything is going correctly, we should be live. Hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. And today we're going to be working on it looked like it started in the middle. I couldn't see it actually start until like just now, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, today we're going to be working on Nightmare Chica once again. I've been a little bit busy over, New Year's and stuff. So I haven't done a whole lot when it comes to building Nightmare Chica. I did, however, get a little bit of fabric wrapped around the frame a little bit. I kind of screwed up at like some of the cheeks and stuff because it's been a while. But you know what? Stuff happens. Hopefully, because we're gonna need to add another half of fabric on top, and hopefully that will end up looking a bit better. Kind of seeing some ways I probably could have done this. Part of me wants to just tear the fabric off and try again, which I don't know if that's going to be more trouble than it's worth. Hello, Toad Online. Welcome to the stream. Up is we're going to be doing Nightmare Chica again. So first up, I think I'm going to start out by cutting the eyes. Also, I noticed that for some reason the white balance on my webcam is really weird and stuff is looking a lot more green than it actually is. And Nightmare Chica herself looks really pale, so hopefully I don't know how to fix that. Hopefully I can fix that in the future. But it was getting way too close to when I wanted to be streaming, so I didn't have much time. So yeah. So we're going to start by cutting out the fabric around the eyes for this part, and then we're going to go on from there. So the things that I'm going to, The things that I'm going to try to complete in this stream is, well, one, I'm going to cut out these eyes, and then I'm going to get the second bit of fabric wrapped around, and that's pretty much the base of all that I really want to do so far this stream. However, if we do end up having more time, I'll probably just go on from there. Probably like carving out some of the withering spots and stuff. But that depends on if I have time. I only want to be streaming for like an hour or so. Like an hour or like 2 hours. I'm not sure yet. Hello, Ray Sounds. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Galaxy Doggo. Welcome to the stream. DG Edits. Welcome to the stream as well. Sorry. Hello, FNAF Bro, to the stream. So, again, for those who are just arriving, first we're going to start by kind of getting the eyes cut out with this layer of fabric. I did actually start making the beak, but it is very not done. I had to restart what I did with the beak so far because I didn't really like how it looked. And I felt like it would have looked wrong if I had continued to do that, so I carved out a new beak out of EVA foam again, and I got that all squared away. I just need to do some shaping on it with a Dremel, along with kind of bending it with a heat gun. But yeah. I've actually been thinking about doing paper mache for some of my other heads, because I want to do the toy animatronics, and they don't have all like they're not made of fabric and stuff. So in order to be like a little bit more accurate, I'm thinking about trying to get like, paper mache to help do that. I've never actually used paper mache before. Well, I think I did at one point when I was really little, trying to like do a school project, but I don't remember much from it. So I probably need a little bit more practice on it, to say the least. So before I start working on the toy animatronics, though, I want to finish up the nightmares. Or maybe I could work at them at the same time? I don't know. I don't want to burn myself out. Burnout's a huge thing you want to try to like ignore kind of stuff, because I have been gotten burnt out on this stuff before in the past. which was partly why I didn't upload much during 20. I just finished all those withered animatronics, and I was like, no, I kind of want to take a bit of a break. That was also before I was really getting paid by YouTube, so. Paid from YouTube, I guess. Appropriate term for that. Not like I'm actually employed. But yeah. So, also, I am coming down with a little bit of something, just like a bit of a cold. I was outside without a jacket for a bit over the weekend, so last weekend so ever since then my nose is runny, so sorry about that. For the most part, I don't think my voice is affected, luckily, so yeah. What is your favorite? FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4, SL, 6, and VR? I'm gonna have to agree with DG on that one. I gotta go with FNAF 2. I love FNAF 2. It was like, in my opinion, FNAF 2 was like the perfect sequel to FNAF 1. It took the concepts and gameplay mechanics of FNAF 1 and then completely expanded on it and like changed it in its own unique way. FNAF 3 and 4 kind of do the same thing, but those ones are a little bit too different in my opinion. Like, they completely changed the setting, which isn't bad. By all means, that is not a bad thing. But, I always have to go for FNAF 2. I love FNAF 2. FNAF 1 was also pretty good, obviously, but FNAF 2, that's when, like, the lore started getting good, in my opinion, and it had, like, a lot of mystery. Which, again, I actually wasn't really getting into the game until FNAF 2. I had looked into Five Nights at Freddy's back when the first game had come out, and I'd seen stuff on it, but I hadn't, like, actually gotten into what the game was about until Five Nights at Freddy's 2. FNAF 3 also had a really good story. FNAF 2 and 3, I think, are my favorites in the way that they do tell the story, where they don't tell you much. They leave so much up for interpretation, especially FNAF 3. But it's enough that you get a good idea of what was going on. It kind of, to me, it felt like in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and 3, especially, and with FNAF 1 too, just with the newspaper clippings and stuff, it felt like you knew as much as, like, you knew just barely more than your actual character you're playing as would know if you were just like a normal night guard. We now know that the night guard is probably Michael Afton. It's not confirmed, but there's a good chance that it is. But back then, we didn't know that. We didn't even know who Michael Afton was. We didn't even know who William Afton was. He wasn't, he wasn't mentioned by name. So, we just knew him as the purple guy. It was like a weird time. I love it. Do I like to make puppets? In a way, a lot of the things I make are kind of like puppets, because even if I don't build them specifically with the idea of making them able to be puppeted, I usually add stuff to them later for, like, short films and stuff so that I can puppet them. Like, for Give Gifts, Give Life episode 8, I believe it was. Yeah, 8. I needed Withered Chica to move her arm and, like, kind of like swing at one point, so I attached fishing line. It wasn't just Withered Chica, sorry. Working on Nightmare Chica, so it's kind of making me slip up there. Withered Chica, I needed to, like, kind of like swing her arm at me at one point, so I attached a bunch of, not a bunch, just like one line of, like, fishing line and stuff, and my little brother kind of puppeted her for that, and then I did something similar with Foxy later to create the effect where, like, Foxy was just kind of, like, collapsed on the floor, like, swinging wildly around after, like, he, like, missed William in that point. Yeah, I remember that too. For some reason, I don't remember where it came from, but Vincent was just like a weird name that people used to call the purple guy before we knew what his name was. I think it came from, like, someone's, like, weird, like, webcomic thing that they did. I don't know. Ooh, am I going to do... I might do that in the middle of doing the, FNAF 4 heads, because I want to make a new torso for the Spring Bonnie costume, because the old one is very outdated. All my torsos are outdated, but the Spring Bonnie one in particular, I want to make, like, a wearable one, and I know a lot of people who watch my videos like making their own cosplays and stuff. So I'm probably going to make a new Spring Bonnie torso at some point, and then, make a tutorial on how to do that. That way, you guys can get, like, a basic idea on how to make a torso. Because I know I've been getting a bunch of people asking me for help with that in particular, because I never show my process of building the bodies, I only really show the process of building the heads. And that's mostly because I like building the heads more, and my torsos, they don't look that good in my opinion. But I should probably, I do need to work on actually, like, making the torsos better and stuff. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing, stuff on the torsos very soon. No worries for being late. Technically, you can't be late if you can just, like, rewind stuff. Going back to what I was talking about with, you know, how the lore was portrayed in Five Nights at Freddy's, 1, 2, and 3. It was all very, like, I don't know, it was very vague. FNAF 4 did the same thing, but the difference between FNAF 4 and Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 3 is that we could actually tell what that specific storyline for that game was. Hello, Golden Foxy, welcome to the stream. But for FNAF 1, 2, and 3, we didn't know kind of like what was going on as thoroughly as we did with FNAF 4. To be fair, with FNAF 4 out, stuff was extremely vague anyways, but it wasn't in the same style of, like, the minigames. Like, there was an actual, like, story that went from point A to point B. Like, you could tell there was an actual plot unfolding in the minigames of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, while the FNAF, 1... Well, I guess if we're talking specifically about minigames, only FNAF 2 and 3, those minigames, they only had, what's it called? It only, like, showed, like, isolated incidents for the most part. FNAF 3 kind of did have, like, the end night minigames and stuff, but, with the, what are they called? The minigames that you play in order to get the good ending, those are, like, extremely weird, and they obviously have some kind of meaning. It's just very vague and, like, abstract to, like, try to, like, piece together what it's supposed to mean, you know? What is best 8 for... That's a good question. The ones in Five Nights at Freddy's 6 were kind of neat. Just because. That's another game I really like. FNAF 6 was a good one. But the minigames in Five Nights at Freddy's 6, they actually, you could tell what was going on with a lot of them. It wasn't the same way the story was told through, or in Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh yeah, here's how the eyes look, by the way. I realized you guys couldn't really see that while I was working on it, but this is how the eyes are turning out. You can kind of see they're coming in and stuff. So, you know, you can actually see where the eyeballs are, unlike the beginning of the stream where they were just kind of like flat fabric over them. So, next up, we're going to have to cut out some more fabric to put over the top of this. We're not going to need as... maybe, I don't know. It's better to cut out too much fabric than too back. But yeah, I think I really liked the fact that in Five Nights at Freddy's 6, we got to see the Take Cake minigame from Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in a completely different format. It was the same exact thing, but we got to see more of that incident, you know? So I'd have to say my favorite FNAF 8-bit minigame would be the Security Puppets minigame in Five Nights at Freddy's 6. Sorry, I'm trying to focus on, like, getting this fabric. Whenever I stream, I kind of have to limit myself. That way you guys just have to stare at the backdrop, because my door is, like, right there, and I don't want to put, like, cloth over my door in case someone needs to get in or anything. And I don't want to put, I can't really put anything over my bed because my bed's in the way. I could probably, like, make a curtain or something if, I don't know. So I'm gonna kind of fold part in half. You can't even see what it, no, you can see. We're gonna fold this in half because I want to make something the same length that I did for the first little stretch of fabric there. So we're going to cut this. So, perfect. And then I'm going to just cut across here, trying to keep the the fabric as flat as possible. That way it doesn't like get all wavy and stuff. To be fair, it doesn't hurt too much if it does end up getting wavy and stuff. I just like to avoid it because I want things to be neat and clean cut, but you know, sometimes that's a bit too much to ask for, to be honest. Hopefully I'm not cutting out too little fabric, because then I'm gonna have to like cut out a whole nother piece, and then I'd have this giant strip of fabric that I wouldn't know what to do with. Yeah. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in. Oh yeah, and also Happy New Year. So we're going to want to take this and wrap it from about here. I know we're going back over the eyes again, but that's okay. We could just cut them back later. That's kind of what I did with Buddy too. Should be okay. Like that. I'm trying to cover up all these like little creases and stuff because they got really bad up at this corner. So what I'm thinking about doing is if I just have this go over like that, the only issue is I don't know if it will actually be able to cover the top if I have it. We need this to... Actually, we could probably get away with some of the cardboard frame being slightly exposed in the center and just patching a piece of yellow fabric on top of it. Because Nightmare Chica is going to have, like, feathers kind of covering that up anyways. So yeah, I don't know. Foxy said. Nice. Foxy's a really weird character to do just because of the snout. His ears and... Well, actually, no, his head shape's just really odd compared to the rest of them. Because the little thing, like cheeks on the side of his head, they come out to like about here. And then his snout is like another thing that comes out to about here. And his snout is a different color normally, so you have to like... you have to get like a different set of fabric to wrap around that. So it's usually good to do the snout kind of separately from the rest of the head. And then the cheeks of Nightmare Foxy in particular, the weird like tufts of fur on the side of his face, those were a different color too, so I had to get more extra fabric to wrap around that, and it was just kind of weird to do. It actually wasn't too bad. I'm really happy with how my Nightmare Foxy turned. Withered Foxy kind of had some flaws, but I also really like how he turned out too. So, yeah. Security Breach second trailer. Ooh, no, I don't think I have seen that. I'm really looking forward to Security Breach. In case you couldn't tell, I'm pretty sure most of us here are. If you're watching a FNAF video, chances are you're fucking hyped for Security Breach. I have not seen the second trailer though. I just saw the first trailer that was kind of like shown off a bit at like, what was it? What was it shown off at? I can't remember. It was like a PlayStation thing, I think. But I saw that trailer and that was enough to get me hyped. Again, I still don't really like the fact that it's in like a way bigger like pizzeria and stuff, but you know what? I don't hate that. Like, it's something like, I feel like it could be done well. I just prefer the feel that the first couple of Five Nights at Freddy's games had, where it's like one really small, dingy kind of like rundown pizzeria that, you know, definitely had like the locations in FNAF 1 specifically was like, it just seemed shady. FNAF 3 also kind of replicated that too, in a way. I think I got this the way. I usually try to avoid doing fabric on live streams just because of how much trouble it typically gives me. But I figured I would treat you guys and I would do it here. So you guys can see the kind of struggle I go through doing fabric. I do it on camera sometimes, though. You guys can also just hear me, like, languishing as I'm trying to get the fabric on, because this is, like, one of the most frustrating parts for me. I don't know. To be fair, it's not the first time we've had, like, characters just kind of gone in, FNAF games. Like, you know, in Sister Location, Chica was just absent. But, you know, honestly, I don't think that's that much of an issue. It is kind of interesting that, this time Chica wasn't left behind, though. From the, cast of characters we see in the security breach location. Given the fact that she was the only, like, in FNAF. They are dead. Probably, I don't know. Gotta pull this as tight as we can. That kind of works. That's what can be hard at times getting it to pull as tight as you want it. You just gotta be very, very firm with it. Don't give it any slack. You always want to try to pull the fabric as tight as possible so you don't get as many creases. I've had people tell me that they, like with my older masks where I wasn't as good as getting the creases out, they liked how it turned out. They thought it made it look like all dingy and stuff, but I don't want to do that on purpose if I can avoid it. So I try to get as many of the creases out as I can now. Sometimes stuff happens though. You guys can see on this cheek, there was a bit of an issue, but there still is some hope because we're going to be carving out little patches where we're going to be putting withering and stuff. So there's a good chance we might be able to salvage it yet. Hopefully. If not, I'm going to be very disappointed because we have crossed the point of no return for that step. There we go. Look at that. I'm going to hold this like this. Huh? Sorry about that. Am I going to make FNAF security breach characters? Maybe. Not in the foreseeable future, though. My plate is kind of full because right after the nightmares, and I do that torso, and maybe remake the torsos of some of my, withered characters, right after that, I'm planning on doing toy animatronics. So, yeah. My plate is kind of full. Do I watch Animatronic? From time to time, her videos kind of pop up into my recommend, so I do watch them occasionally. I like seeing how other people do, like, what is it? I like watching how other people do, like, cosplays and stuff, because, like, even when people do the same character, they normally tend to look different, because different people have different, what is it? They have, like, different styles in a weird way, and it's kind of neat to see that kind of, like, shine through. So we got a bunch of fabric kind of like off here, which we don't want because that's just gonna end up... Ooh, Before I forget, we should probably also put down some glue here in the front. That way this doesn't lift up at some point later on, because that is bad. Don't want kind of like fabric in the... Yeah, that's kind of looking pretty good. Something kind of interesting is that the top of this head is kind of shorter than the rest of them, which I was very worried about doing at first, but I noticed that with my last Chica head where I didn't do that, which was Wither Chica. What is it? Wither Chica ended up being like really tall compared to like how she actually looks in game. Like, it's very elongated. I'm not trying to ignore you. The chat just sometimes moves while I'm in the middle of like talking about something else. So I'm sorry if I didn't see the other message, but I'm also trying to work on stuff, so I can't like have my hands on the mouse and stuff to scroll up in the chat. So I gotta keep working pretty much. But yeah, so we're going to quickly, now that this glue has dried, I was kind of waiting for the hot glue in the back here to dry, so it didn't get lifted up to, like, while I was in the middle of cutting. That way we put in. We're just gonna kind of cut this straight up along where we put the glue, just so we don't have all this like extra fabric just kind of dang. I wish I was able to have like more something so you guys can like set one up here, put it up to my laptop. I know how to set that up, I just can't afford it. I actually used to do my school news live, well, semi-live. It was weird. We would do it all in one take, and I would be the one in charge of like switching in between cameras and stuff, using a switcher. So I know how to set that stuff up, and I know how to, you know, like use switchers and stuff. Yeah. I would love to be able to like incorporate that into my live stream. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was reading the, paper mache comment. We made paper mache ghosts as Halloween decorations a long time ago. So pretty much my entire knowledge of paper mache comes from that. I don't remember how to mix paper mache, so I'm gonna have to look up some, like, recipes or something, you know, to use before I, like, get started. But I would totally love to do paper mache stuff for the toys. I'm just gonna, I want to be very careful to make them as smooth as possible though, so I'm probably gonna put a lot of layers around it and then sand it down. If that works. I've never worked with paper mache. I'm probably gonna do like a test run at some point. But yeah, the balloon technique I heard is really good. I also have a bunch of spare balloons because like a while ago I bought a bunch for set props. I've just kind of had them ever since. Yeah. So now we're gonna start kind of like folding the fabric over the head and wrapping it on top of each other. So we're going to cut at like specific parts of the head where we would normally get creases and folds and stuff, and try to mitigate that by cutting. So as you could see, originally these two pieces of fabric right here were joined, but what I did is, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over here, and in order to get rid of the weird crease that was right here, I cut it down here, and then I'm going to lay this part flat, like that, and then have this, like, perfectly over it, and then kind of, like, pull on it a bit, to, like, stretch it as I, like, try to glue it down, and then I'm going to place a little bead of hot glue right there, just to hold it down, and then let that dry for a bit. You don't need to worry about it too much, because usually it'll hold while we're busy working stuff, kind of thing. This is how I did the tops of the heads for Freddy and Foxy, or Nightmare Freddy and Nightmare Foxy, excuse me. And it actually works pretty well. So Do I still live with my parents? Yes, because I am not that old. I am barely a legal adult in most parts of the country. Ooh, yeah, so for my spring trap, it's a bit old, but I used, for parts where I wanted the corpse to be seen underneath, I used this red leather stuff, and I kind of, like, added some brown paint on top of it to make it look, less, just to make it look more, kind of nasty, and, like, rotted and stuff, so, yeah. I made Spring Bonnie about, I don't know, that was like 3 years ago only. I was in, trust me, I'm not that old. One day I will be, though. Just not yet. But yeah, so we're just doing what we did right here, all the way around the head in order to kind of mitigate the amount of creases and stuff going on. Sometimes you'll still get stuff which, it's hard to be 100% perfect with this kind of stuff, which is fine. Usually those like weird nicks and stuff that you'll see on heads kind of just serve to give it more character and stuff, I like to think. So it's not the worst. Not like it's stuff. I'm noticing that these, the weird, like, bumps that I put over for, like, where Nightmare Chica's got, like, weird, like, things coming out where her eyebrows would be, or, like, they're not as pronounced as I thought they would be, which is kind of good and bad at the same time. Because, on one hand, at least they're not, like, too pronounced and they look weird, but on the other hand, I want to make sure you can tell they're there most of the time, but... whatever. You can, like, just barely tell they're there, and I think that might be the best outcome for that. Also, I'm probably not going to live stream making the beak, specifically because I'm going to have to be doing a lot of stuff in my garage with that, like sanding it down with a Dremel, and taking care of it with the heat gun and stuff. And I don't want to... I'm probably not going to be able to, like, set up my live streaming setup in there either, so... I'm a little bit older than that. I don't like putting my actual, like, age out. But I am older than that, I will say. Thank you. However, I would definitely say I'm not the best at covering up creases, as you could see right here. I do want to try to get as many as I can, though, just so that it's less pronounced. There are some other, like really professional ways of, like, doing this, where you can, like, sew the fabric together and stuff. I don't know how to do that. I've seen people use felt and actually make it look good. I am horrible with felt. You can really tell with my cupcake. The felt on the cupcake looks bad. But some people are good with that. I know felt's kind of, like, supposed to be stretchy and stuff, but I've never actually attempted to do that at all. Actually, I have used felt on Nightmare Bonnie, or not Nightmare Bonnie, Wither Bonnie's face, because I needed, like, a weird, like, turquoise-ish fabric for his snout, and that's the best I could do. I'm assuming your name's pronounced either Julio or Julio? I don't know. There's a good chance I'm pronouncing that wrong. Oh, what games do I like other than FNAF? I played a lot of Containment Breach, like, a while ago. I've been looking at SCP Unity. I like SCP games, pretty much. Just because I like the SCP Foundation and stuff. I've planned on doing more videos on that, I just never got around to it, because it's a lot harder to do. Because I don't have any good, like, laboratory sets and stuff like that. Ooh. I'm gonna have cut a little bit too deep there for that. That'll be fine. I'll have to find a way to smoothen that out. But I also like, as for non-horror games, I've been playing... Here's a game I've been playing. I play a lot of Gary's Mod, I just like screwing around in that, but I also like Doom Eternal, I did play Bendy and the Ink Machine. I did enjoy Bendy and the Ink Machine. I actually played that on the channel, like, I think that was 2019? Like, early 2019? I have not played Granny. I have looked into it, though. I've seen stuff of it. It's not... It's like a neat little, like, fun horror game, I think, in my opinion. From what I've seen, anyways. I've just seen Let's Plays. I've never actually played it. Mostly because I don't play a whole lot of mobile games. The first mobile game I've ever played, or the first mobile game I've played in forever, has to be, Five Nights at Freddy's AR. I did not have very many games on my phone. Oh, yeesh. I'm getting this kind of like... that's kind of okay. I kind of screwed up right about here, but that's okay because we're going to be cutting and adding withering there in a bit, so... Yeah. Have you ever... Yes, I have played the original Doom. I have the Ultimate Doom installed from Steam, which was like... what is it? I think that came with like Doom 1 and like all the stuff for Doom 1 and then Doom 2? I think it came with Doom 2. I'm not entirely certain. I'll have to... But yeah, I did play Doom 1. Legend of Zelda was another game that I was really into. You could see it a lot in my older videos. I have a bunch of like Legend of Zelda stuff. Like I have a replica Master Sword kind of in my closet. I haven't played any of the newer games though. I have not played Breath of the Wild. I mostly like Twilight Princess back in the day. What is going on with this? There is this thing here, and I don't know how I did it, but it's kind of bothering. So we're gonna try to find a way to get this to cover up, I guess. Oh, that looks weird. How did I do that? I think that's only doing that because of the fact that it's just kind of flat on this, because I carved out where the rest of the... What's it called? I carved out where a lot of the withering would go on that spot. Do I play COD? I've played some in the past. I really like the World at War is probably my favorite. It's a bit of a... It's an older one at this point, but that one was fun at all hell. I think that's the game that introduced zombies too. I play zombies with my brothers all the time. And then I haven't looked into the lore of zombies in a while though, so I don't know how much of it's changed. I've just been kind of playing it and I've noticed, wow, man, everything's different. And then I also played a lot of Black Ops, mostly Black Ops 1 and 2. I kind of lost interest at Black Ops 3. Like, I got bored playing that campaign, to be honest. And I think the last Call of Duty game that I played that I actually, like, had genuine interest in and was, like, having fun was probably Call of Duty World War II. I don't know why. I've heard a lot of people don't like that one. But in my opinion, I had fun with it. The multiplayer I had fun with. The zombies was terrifying in that one. But yeah, I had a lot of fun playing a lot of different COD games. I'm not like a, you know, like, I wouldn't call myself like a big... I guess I'd call myself a fan, but not like... I'm not a big fan of COD, if that makes sense. Oh, yeah, I probably will be adding extra darker spots kind of around stuff. That's what I did with Withered Foxy. or not Withered Foxy, Nightmare Foxy and Nightmare Freddy. I'm thinking about going back and doing the dark spots around the withering for the withered animatronics too. But yeah. Do I know about... Yes! Those are Trevor Henderson artworks. I love Trevor Henderson's artwork. I just kind of like how he makes a bunch of, like, creepy shit and then kind of, like, designs, like, this cool little... Like, for each and every artwork. It's like everything he creates has, like, some sort of, like, character to it, no matter how minute. But yeah, I do know of them. I don't know much of the lore behind specifically Siren Head Cartoon Cat. I don't know if it's expanded. I haven't looked into it. I do like Longhorse. I saw a guy make an animatronic Longhorse at some point, and it's terrifying. Okay. So we got this. I kind of started to lose it on, like, filling up the, what is it? The little spots where I, like, you could see creases kind of like right here at the front, which is like the one spot where I want to make sure I get all the creases out. But whatever, it's not the worst. So next we're going to kind of carve open the eyes again and try to get the back open so we can get these kind of properly, like eyes and stuff. And then we're going to be done for the fabric on the top part of the head. Much... I need to double check to make sure I have enough fabric to make the bottom jaw feathers. I should. This should be more than plenty, actually, now that I'm looking at it. I'll have to grab more of that, too, at some point. Buying fabric online... I bought that online, and it came in fine. But, my god, I had so much of a hassle getting fabric for Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare Bonnie. Nightmare Fredbear was supposed to be next, not Nightmare Chica. Or, excuse me, not Nightmare Fredbear. I think it was Nightmare Bonnie that was supposed to be next. One of them. It was one of those two. Nightmare Chica was going to be last. But Nightmare Chica was the only one I was able to get all the materials for online. Because I got put into quarantine when I needed to get all my materials and stuff. I'm like, you know, I can't just wait. I need to get stuff. So I got materials for Nightmare Foxy, along with the other nightmares, and... Nightmare Foxy stuff came in fine. Nightmare Chica's came in fine. Nightmare Bonnie and Freddy were... Oh my... Or, Fredbear, sorry. Nightmare Bonnie and Fredbear were bad. I had a lot of trouble trying to get stuff in that. Luckily, though, I did eventually get all the fabric I need. I do have the fabric for Nightmare Fredbear. It's a little bit more yellow than I would have liked, but whatever. It's better than nothing. I literally could not find good flannel fabric or, like, it's the kind of fabric I ended up getting for... Ow. That hurt. That was dumb of me. I just put my thumb right on some wet hot glue. That is... Bad. Can you guys still hear the music, by the way? I don't know if it looped, and for some reason I can't see the music. For some reason, like, when I could hear it play. I can't hear it right now because I muted my sound so you don't hear it over my microphone. I could hear the music play, but I couldn't see the music player actually playing, so I don't know if it only did, like, one loop and then finish. Yeah, if I remember correctly, Longhorse is not. He's just weird. What was I talking about before? Oh yeah, I don't remember what kind of fabric I ended up settling for Nightmare Fredbear. It wasn't flannel though, like I normally use. It was some other kind of stuff, but it was also like, I think it's the same stuff I used for Withered Chica, but it's a little bit too like more yellow than like the actual like goldish color that I was looking for. I did get stuff that was in that gold color, but it's not flannel, and it would be very hard to actually use, so... I don't know if long... again, it's been a while since I've actually looked into the lore stuff, but I have looked at a lot of his artworks. There we go. Got one eye taken care of. I'm gonna go check to see what kind of fabric I used for threadbare while that hot glue dries. Fleece was fleece. This is the stuff I got for threadbare right here. You could see it's a little bit of a more, like, darker yellow than what I'm using for Nightmare Chica. But I'm going to use this in a combination of brown fabric because he's got, like, these weird, like, spots all over him, like, especially on his, like, snout and his arms that are, like, more brown and weird, and I don't know why. It's a weird thing. It's gonna make it really hard to do his full body because I'm planning on doing his full body first, but... because, I may have said that if I made it to 16,000 subs, I would make Nightmare Fredbear's, or I would reskin Crouchy the Clown, that giant clown animatronic I got as Nightmare Fredbear, and I did get 16,000, so I gotta do that. So, yeah, I actually will be reskinning Crouchy the Clown as Nightmare Fredbear. It's gonna take a long time, but I'm going to do it. So I'm gonna need a lot of that fabric. Luckily, I know what to look for. Oh, my legs are going. Weep. Ooh, I have played FNAF World. I actually really did enjoy FNAF World. It didn't... I feel like it probably didn't have to be connected to, Five Nights at Freddy's, but I did, like, actually have genuine fun while playing that. It was a very weird, like, step in the series, though, and I understand why a lot of people weren't big fans of it. And I think the way Scott Cawthon handled it, like, all the criticism and stuff of it, probably was the best way he could have. Because that was very banned when it came out. Who's the most terrifying SCP? That is a hard question when there's, like, 4,000 of them. I think we're getting to the 5,000s now. I remember back when there was only, like, 2,000. I ended up getting into NPCs, or not NPCs, SCPs back when there was about 2,000. I'm gonna have to... I don't know. 106 was always, like, the whole rotting corpse kind of motif that, like, is, like, spreading corruption everywhere has always been scary for me. 096, I'm just kind of listing the SCPs that come up on the top of my head right now, and that's mostly, like, the well-known ones, like, that you see in, like, Containment Breach and stuff like that. There's a lot of lesser-known ones that I remember being really terrifying. I think there was one called the fucking Vorhole, which was horrible. It was like a giant, like, biological mouth in the floor. And that is creepy as hell to me, and it, like, calls people, like, it makes people, like, have a incredible urge to, like, jump into it, which is scary. The Flesh That Hates is another very, like, creepy SCP, just because, like, they managed to take zombies and make them even worse with that, which I hate. I hate The Flesh That Hates. Yeah. What was the SCP? What number is SCP, or the Flesh That Hates? Is that SCP-6N? I think it's something that has 6 somewhere in it. I don't remember. O49 is kind of creepy. He can be like, he's not that scary, like, on his own. If you were to encounter him, like in real life, then, yeah, that fucker's gonna be terrifying, but, like, like, compared to some of the other SCPs, he's pretty mundane. Pretty much any SCPs that deal with the Sarkic cults are terrifying, which include, like, the Flesh That Hates, some of the other, I don't know, there's some other SCPs that I have in mind that I can't remember. The Sarkic cults, like, they deal with, like, flesh and stuff, and it's creepy, but I also kind of like it. Okay, so we got most of Nightmare Chica kind of wrapped in... Well, we got the top of the head completely wrapped up in fabric, as you guys can see. So that's turning out pretty good. Next up, we are not even at an hour yet. Man, I feel like I've been live streaming for way longer than I actually have been. So I guess the next step would be to get, start carving out some of the withering holes, I guess. We could start making the feathers on the top of the head, too. That is also an option. I'm realizing right here, there's like a really weird crease. I don't know why that's like that, but that really bothers me. Dang it. I'll have to try to find a way to, like, clean that up later. Grab my phone. Got a bunch of... Okay. So we got... Gonna be a bit weird. Is Gorfield in that? No, Gorfield's not an actual SCP. I thought that was, that was a creation by Lumpy Touch. He's a guy on YouTube. He does a bunch of, like, weird artwork, if I remember correctly. That one's not an SCP. I know there is a Garfield SCP that's, like, a weird, like... It's like a Garfield onesie that's just full of lasagna that just kind of goes around. I can't remember the entirety of, like, what it does, but it's weird. Just like everything else in the SCP Foundation. Okay, let me... I'm using the, Help Wanted, Nightmare Chica's kind of... What is it? I'm using her model because she had, like, a render where her head was kind of tilted to the side so you could see more of this. So I'm kind of going off of that part here. Favorite Five Nights at Freddy's character? The Puppet. I think I get asked that, like, every single live stream. Every time it's always been the Puppet. I don't know what it is. I just like the Puppet. At this point, I'm trying to make sure I don't screw up the wither, because once I cut off, I can't uncut it, so gotta be very careful about what I'm doing right now. I think I got it. We could do just like a bunch of like really jagged backward. Or her withering looks. There we go. So now we got a bit of a hole kind of in the side of her head. Just to kind of get that stuff kind of... I didn't do as good of a job with the withering around her eyes, not looking at it. To be fair, a lot of her withering was, like, getting confusing for me. I ended up cutting a hole way too big in the front. Or watch Lanky Box? I don't know. I don't think I may have seen them at some point. I don't remember them. I know Eddie VR. I don't think so. I don't think that name even rings a bell to me. We're close to like getting the main like withering that I was worried about. There's also like another weird bit of withering like right down here that I'm gonna figure out. Thank you. Well, who the hell am I? I don't know. You're the one who came up to me, I guess. Oh, nice. Nice to hear that. I like hearing that people, like, watch my live streams while working on stuff, because that's kind of, like, what like, when I work on stuff, like, off camera, I like to have something, like, on as, like, background noise. And it, like, I would love to be able to be someone's background noise while I'm, like, sitting here doing the same exact thing as them. So, I love hearing when people say, like, they're working on stuff while watching, like, my live streams or videos. It's just really cool to me. There we go. So you could kind of see we got like a bit of like a little gashed out portion of the head right here. So next up, there's like a weird patch of withering, kind of like that I'm going to try to do. For this one, we're going to be doing something a bit different. Instead of having a hole that goes all the way through the head, I need to go grab some black fabric, because I'm going to kind of put black fabric underneath that I cut, because I don't want to cut too... I probably should stop talking when I walk away from the mic, because you guys probably aren't able to hear me that well. So... let me kind of show what I'm talking about. I don't like cutting too many holes in the frame, because I don't unstructurally sound. But you can kind of see some stuff that I did with Nightmare Freddy, where I cut holes in the head, or in the fabric of the head, and then I just kind of put black fabric. I slipped black fabric underneath, and then I kind of like glued it around. But yeah. I definitely am going to be doing Nightmare Fredbear next, because I want to get all the nightmares done. It was just kind of a matter of if I did Nightmare Fredbear or Nightmare Bonnie next. Nightmare Bonnie would kind of be thematic, because I got all the other, like, nightmare animatronics you encounter on a normal night, but also Nightmare Fredbear is cool, and I kind of want... he's gonna be a big head, so I kind of want to get it out of the way first. But yeah. So, what was I gonna do? Okay, so we're gonna wanna... I need my reference image back up. we're going to want to cut another hole, like a smaller one down there, to kind of continue doing the withering on this side. Starts at right. Actually, not this. Oh no, I'm kind of like thinking out loud, and I don't know if any of it makes sense. So I'm sorry if you guys are like trying to follow along with what I'm talking about. And I'm realizing I'm gonna be cutting out a part where I hot glued this stuff down, so that I'm gonna have to find new spots to put the glue down on. That's not good. There we go. I had to tear off a piece of fabric that I hot glued down on accident. I'm gonna add glue kind of like that way. And then this is very confusing for me to try to do, because all the little pieces I gotta cut that are hot glued down already. Okay, with there we go. So you can see there's like another hole there. We're going to slip black fabric underneath to kind of like glue down. Oh my god. Yeah, Craftix Gaming is a madman. I don't know how he does it, but he managed to make, especially his spring trap, he makes really like accurate to the game one. Like, I've never been one to like try to focus on accuracy, but my god, he does that really well somehow. He uses, I don't know what kind of fabric he uses too, because he uses stuff that like actually, it's kind of like fur, but also it's not like very pronounced. I don't know. But yeah, I have seen Craftix Gaming stuff. He makes some pretty good stuff. I really like how his spring trap turned out. But yeah, a lot of Fredbear's, or Nightmare Fredbear's huge. And then another reason why I gotta make mine huge is because I'm not making it for me to wear. I'm making it for Crouchy the Clown to wear, that 7-foot tall animatronic clown, because I want a giant animatronic Fredbear in my house. I think that would be cool for Halloween and stuff, in all honesty. So after I finish the nightmares, what am I doing next? Toy animatronics. I'm gonna try something new and try to do the toy animatronics if I can, because specifically the toy animatronics, because I need them for some like future episodes of Give Gifts Give Life. Because I want to do some episodes kind of focusing more on the FNAF 2 location, and I don't want to just show the withers and only the withers. I want to actually like include the toy animatronics on a lot of. And plus, I want to do another like FNAF 2 Halloween room, but this time have toy animatronics instead of withered animatronics. I think that would be cool. Maybe both, I don't know. I've been drinking water. I got a water bottle right here. Yeah. Usually right when I finish a mask is when like that kind of stuff will like, I'll get scared by it in the dark. Because like, I'm not used to it being there. So like all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, that's there now. Alright. I usually get used to it though, especially after like a couple years. I remember Withered Chica, especially for some reason, was like really creepy looking to me. And now I just kind of like, yeah, like it doesn't faze me anymore. Because I've seen it like daily for years. Oh, I like pressed in a bit of the frame that I'm not meaning to do. Kind of slipping the black fabric underneath and getting it glued down can always be a pain. But I like how it turns out, so I'm doing it anyways. I know that feeling. I always get like an irrational fear that like something's gonna grab me like when I'm coming back to my room at night and like everyone else. I always feel like because I'll go to the bathroom and then go back to my room and then like I don't know, there's just like a weird feeling of like terror for like no reason. I have like no reason to feel it, but I'm feeling it anyway. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. Not like there we go. We're gonna trim down some of this black fabric. I mean, it's just gonna look. There we go. Look at that. Now we have the second little patch of withering kind of right here, so it looks like there's two different chunks up, or chunks taken out. I don't know. I don't think people should, you know, ship FNAF characters in general. Weird. Oh, Bucket Bob is a very good FNAF character. You could try to make #1 crate. He's not very hard. As long as you have, like, you could literally get, like, any kind of crate as long as it's, like, the right color, and you're pretty much almost done. I think my only regret is that I didn't do the withering here. What's the word I'm looking for? Jagged, yes? Probably should have done that. Realizing you could see some of the black fabric kind of, like, looking through here. Through the eye, and I don't... That's some... Try to trim that down. It's kind of hard at this. I'm gonna like accidentally cut through some fabric. I wasn't. There we go. Ooh, that I need to put some glue down right. There we go. Okay, that turned out pretty good. Boom. So you can actually make the #1 fingers out of cardboard and painting it. That's what I ended up doing. It might be harder to do it for different people though. So I kind of struggled on like painting the actual like the decal on the fucking hand and stuff. So it was kind of, I don't know, it was a weird experience. I don't really do a whole lot of like actual like artistic painting. I just kind of like, I like painting things, but not on like a canvas. I like painting stuff like, I like painting the eyes. I like painting like little splotches on these guys, and I like painting like little miniatures and stuff. Like I collect Warhammer and stuff like that. So I mostly just curse when I have like a problem. I don't typically censor myself. Sorry, I was kind of like getting some pieces of fabric kind of like thrown out. Anyways, more withering, I'm assuming. Yeah, we got time for like at least one more little patch of withering, I think. If not a couple. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Nightmare Chica kind of has like hole just torn out right here, like all along the bottom here. It's going to be really interesting to try to do. But we're gonna attempt to do it anyways. I don't know. I'm gonna say screw it, and I'm actually going to cut the frame on, make it an actual hole. Hopefully I won't regret this. I'm really hoping I won't regret this. I'm hoping I made the frame sturdy enough by this point that it can like last without it. Oh, it can! It can, boys! I couldn't cut it earlier until I, like, finished that part of the frame. But, yeah, it can. It totally can last without that piece. That is great. Because now, I can just cut this out, and it looks way better. I like how it looks when there's not, like, fabric and stuff. I'm gonna have to add some black fabric, or, like, maybe use black paint to kind of, like, cover up this areas. But I'll do that after the stream. Oh, look at that. That looks pretty good. I will have to add something else to the frame, though, to kind of even out how that looks, because I feel like that right there looks a little bit too... The actual frame on it a bit too much for my liking. Yeah, I'm actually really glad I was able to just, like, cut a chunk out of her cheek. I think that looks way better than actually having to, what is it, just put black fabric over. Alright, I got reference image. Kind of perfect. Well, I'm using the term perfect loosely because I'm probably not going to get it perfect, let's be honest here. But that's okay. I don't really care about getting it that perfect. There we go, look at that. Now, big old chunk missing out of her cheek. And then next, I'm going to want to do that. I think she has another one in her. I'm going to have to she does. This one's a little bit further. Kind of weird to do, just cutting the frame after I've already put the fabric on. But yeah. Yeah, having materials just kind of rip on you while when you don't want them to, when you're in the middle of, like, building something is horrible. Like, I hate that. It just makes me feel awful. Because, there's oftentimes, especially with, like, the withered characters, there's, like, thin parts of cardboard on the frame. You can't really see it that well. I don't know if there's a way I could hold this, but there's, like, a really thin piece of cardboard right here. Just kind of holding part of the eye up, and I'm worried it won't last. And if that tears, I'm gonna have to like find a way to reinforce it, which might be difficult. Finding anything for that side of Nightmare is very hard, like her left side. I think this is probably the best image I'm going to get. It just... Puppet and Toy Chica are pretty creepy. They got like that porcelain doll kind of look to them. Especially the puppet. Gonna do the same thing here where we're just tearing it. And then we're gonna cut like half of this other like support frame of the. Oh, this is kind of weird, but got it, I think. Look at that. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. And then once we add some, what is it? Once we add some like paint and stuff around the withering, it's gonna look really good. Like it's gonna look all rotted and so I'm really liking how this is turning out. And then I just thought we could probably just put a light inside of it and use it as Jacko Chica once we're done. Once we finish everything. To be fair, Jacko Chica's got a design color different. But whatever. That though. We're getting a lot more of the withering done than I thought I would have time for tonight. But no, it looks like we're... Did we finish it? Did we... Hold on. We're withering kind of... Here. No? Same with the right. That's looking a bit better than. Oh, I should probably glue. There we go. So, sorry, I just kind of like looked back and I noticed probably some more I need to do. But yeah. Yeah, I actually have Help Wanted on my laptop. It's installed and everything. I just haven't played it. I want to wait until I'm able to get a VR headset first. Because I feel like that's the best way to experience Help Wanted. So it looks like Nightmare Chica kind of has like a weird in the fabric and stuff right here. Quickly like cut out. And then we're gonna get a tiny piece of black fabric to there's like a little hole kind of like torn open, kind of like right at her forehead. It's gonna look a bit better once I get all the paint and stuff all over the place, but for now we're just gonna have to deal with that. It looks like a lot of the other withering is just kind of on her feathers and stuff. I can't get a good look at her like side right there, so I have no idea if she has any withering on this side. I'm just gonna go on a limb here and say that she does not, because I'm looking at her Help Wanted model and I could kind of see inside of the mask from this eye. and I can't see any, like, holes going straight through, so I have no idea. I'm gonna have to... I don't know. But yeah, I think that is all we're going to be doing for this stream, though. It's about an hour and 20 minutes in. I've already done a stream where I made the frame, or where I worked on the frame for Nightmare Chica, so I didn't really want to do too much this stream. I want to save something for the video that I'm going to be making once it's all done. But I hope you guys all enjoyed watching, though. I really do appreciate all the support I've been getting recently. It means a lot to me. Like, a lot of the comments I've been getting, just kind of supporting my work and stuff, and I appreciate you guys. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in whatever I upload next week. Bye. Oh, bye, Springtrap. Bye, Springtrap.